But there's no denying sports is a big part of our culture. Beginning at a young age, millions of kids take to the field, the court, the rink, or the pool.
Many kids play in leagues like Pop Warner, Little League, or AYSO, but there's another option for those who want to go even further. KCOY 12's Dave Alley is live in Santa Maria with this exclusive report.
Well, Paul and Scott, as we know, sports are very competitive. So in an effort to get an edge and an advantage, many young athletes are taking their game to club teams, which are changing the way that youth and prep sports are being played all across the country. More than 40 million kids nationally play youth sports each year. While many participate in traditional athletic organizations like Little League, AYSO, and CIF, others are turning to club teams.
The difference is the level of competitiveness and the level of maybe what's involved dedication-wise. The expectations at the club level tend to be a little greater.
Ready, break!
Also greater is the time club athletes devote to their sport.
They're getting year-round coaching. They're getting year-round critiquing and support, and they have the opportunity to play significantly more often.
Sarah Lou's daughter Malia is in her second year playing for the San Ynez Wildcats. Just 13 years old, the 7th grader is already planning and playing for her future.
I want to play basketball in high school, and I want to make varsity. And then I'm hoping to play basketball in college, and hopefully it'll help me build up to that.
That's the idea for many club teams, particularly those for teenagers with top skills.
College coaches do tend to recruit from clubs, and that's true for a lot of sports these days. As club sports have so evolved over the past 2 decades.
In sports like soccer, to receive a college scholarship, coaches say that playing club sports is not only recommended, it's pretty much a necessity.
I would say 95% of recruited high school players that play in college is through the club.
It leaves many to wonder if top athletes will abandon high school sports altogether.
That's already happening in some situations. I know in softball there are several players that are not playing high school softball because it's just not going to benefit them at all.
Kevin Barbarick knows all about the club scene. He's coached club basketball players at Rigetti, including Stanford-bound Cameron Walker. And his daughter Katie has played club softball for years and recently received a scholarship offer to Holy Cross.
It's really important for these club coaches to get kids signed. So you kind of have to do your research. You have to take a look at it and try and make sure that you're working with somebody that is going to be reputable.
Which isn't always the case. Club coaches can be anyone with experience, knowledge, and personalities running the gamut.
Parents are able to customize what they want to get for their kid. If they want to get a discipline coach, a fundamental coach, an X and O coach, a conditioning coach, they can pick and choose where they want to go.
And sometimes to find the best fit, families must go a long way just to play for a certain team.
We were traveling to Camarillo and Newberry Park to play, and then we went to San Jose for a year.
Travel costs add up fast, and those are on top of dues required to play.
We've been on some clubs that we spend a lot of money, like up to $2,400 a year.
Scott Roberts' son Chris plays for the Central Coast Condors, a team that charges far less. He has 15 years experience as a club dad between his son and daughter. Despite all the costs, the travel, the time commitment, and everything else, he says it's worth it.
You're getting your kid in with that level of competition that they need. You play to your level of competition, and when you challenge your kid, they keep moving up.
Chris, an 8th grader at Paulding Middle School, is hoping his club experience pays off in 4 years.
I personally am looking past high school. I would like to go to UCSB.
If he's to catch the eye of Tim Vomstieg or perhaps another coach, Chris is on the right path.
This is the best time to do it. To think about your future. If you don't think about right here, then you won't be able to go further on.
To help make sure that they do go on, many athletes now are no longer playing multiple sports throughout the year. Instead, they're specializing in only one.
It wasn't unusual to see a kid that was first team in baseball, football, and basketball, but those are hard. You don't see those that often anymore because it gives them less ability to play other sports because they're focusing on one sport.
And that's not likely to change as club sports continue to change the game and become more influential. So no matter what side you're on, it's a whole new ballgame. Well, as we saw, there's club teams for basketball, softball, and soccer, but really there's club teams for just about every sport imaginable, from water polo to baseball, wrestling to volleyball, just to name a few, although it may not be for every young athlete. For those that do enjoy it, and for many, it's just the right ticket. Reporting live in Santa Maria, Dave Alley, KCOI 12, Central Coast News.
Is this something that is really cost prohibitive, Dave, for underprivileged kids? I mean, it's pretty expensive, these club sports.
Well, you know, Paula, as we saw there, club teams can be very expensive, for some running into the thousands of dollars per year just to play on the team. That's not even accounting for, as we mentioned, the travel, lodging, food, etc. So it is tough for underprivileged kids. However, for some club teams, there are scholarships available, or they do make exceptions if you're an exceptional athlete. So there are opportunities, but certainly, you know, for parents, it's a tough bill to pay. But for some, it does pay off in the end in a college scholarship. But for others, they enjoy the competitiveness and the atmosphere. It's certainly something that, as we saw right there, is growing by leaps and bounds, and is certainly becoming more influential with each and every year. Paula, Scott.
Okay, thank you for that report, Dave.